Blog Talk Radio.
I'd like to welcome all of you to Ohio Exopolitics. I'm your host, Mark Snyder, and we are broadcasting live from the beautiful Dillon State Park here in East Central Ohio. And I'd like to remind all of you to please press the follow button if you haven't done already, and then in 1 hour prior to each show you'll be notified. The music you hear on Ohio Exopolitics is performed by your host, and CDs are available on request. Tonight we have Sheldan Nidle. Sheldon is a fascinating guy. He's a contactee with several different groups in the Star Nations. He has some very interesting material, both DVDs and books. One I've been listening to lately is called Lemuria, Fact or Fiction. We've had Sheldon on the show several times, and it's always great to speak with Sheldon. Sheldon, how are you this evening?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Mark?
Well, it's good to hear your voice. How's the weather in California today?
Hot.
Very hot.
About 98 today.
Oh, boy. So you guys are getting a little roasted, huh?
Yeah, thank God for air conditioning.
You have another webinar coming up, don't you? Can you tell our listeners about that?
Sure. On Sunday, August the 21st, from 12 to 1:30, and on Thursday from August the 25th from 6 to 7:30. Those are all Pacific Daylight Time. We're doing one that's simply called Ascension Training for a New Earth, and in that we'll be talking about your new role in the solar system, Star Nation, creating a new Earth, and what will the new Earth and our solar system look like. So I think it'll be fascinating for people who would like to sign up and register for it. As I said, it's on Sunday at 12 Pacific Daylight, and again on Thursday at 6 o'clock Pacific again. And of course, it's from 6 to 7:30 and 12 to 1:30.
Sheldon, on our last show, you mentioned that you had past lives in the Sirius star system, and I want to play a little clip and then get you to talk a little bit about your past lives on the Sirius star system. Listen to this. It would be kind of interesting.
The star Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. Astronomers have calculated its distance from us at being 8.5 light years. It was noted only in very recent times, thanks to modern telescopes, that Sirius moves together with another star, much smaller than itself and invisible to the naked eye. Scientists call this two-star system Sirius A and Sirius B. The larger of these is Sirius A, which is the brightest star that can be seen with the naked eye. Its mass is 3 times that of the Sun, and it is 10 times brighter than it. Sirius B, on the other hand, is a white dwarf star. It cannot be seen with the naked eye. It possesses approximately the same mass as the Sun, although since its diameter is only 4 times that of the Earth, it is very much more dense. The stars in the Sirius system are heading towards our direction at thousands of kilometers an hour. The duration of the rising of Sirius on Earth's horizon is exactly the same as our solar year.
Sheldon, are your contacts from Sirius A?
No, they're from B.
From B?
B, and there's also
and I know
others. Go ahead.
You've talked about them a little bit. They're very tall individuals. Their motherships can be hundreds and hundreds of miles, in both in width and height. And could you tell us a little bit about your past lives on Sirius and what that whole culture there is like?
Well, the culture is what I describe in my book, Your First Contact, which, of course, is a galactic society. Galactic societies are basically divided into a number of major groups, which are called quote-unquote clans, which is the closest word that is equivalent to the word that is used. So we call them clans, and they break down to what I like to call at the bottom of it a podlet, and this is usually a group of about 16 to 64 individuals, and they really act like an extended family. Most of the ones that I have been associated with or know about are 64 people. And you learn from an early age that you are part of a system in which you have sovereignty, in which you have talents and abilities, and that you will be allowed during the course of your lifetime to express these, and that as you grow in wisdom, you have the ability to spread that wisdom not only among your own self and in what you do during the course of your life, but among others. And they have a thing called the laws of the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, which basically say that the reason for your existence in any particular lifetime is for 2 things. 1, to learn more about the very nature of what life is in reality, and secondly, to understand the wisdom of the energies of creation. So you begin in each lifetime with a set of various questions, and this is the life contract, and you work it out during the course of that contract with others that are basically those in your podlet, and also working all the way up to the clan, which has councils, and at the top of the planet's clan council system is a kind of an honorary or merit-oriented system where older individuals are able to come together and use their wisdoms collectively to help others on the planet to achieve ways and means to solve any particular problem that may arise in the society. So you look upon yourself as being an individual that has a purpose, and that you have a basic responsibility to interact with other people, not only in your podlet, but in your clan, but also planetary, to solve problems, to discover more and more who you are, and to discover how you can interrelate with others. So the society is really one in which you are growing in wisdom, growing in knowledge, interacting with one another, understanding the nature of the life force that's within you, and using that wisdom to get more and more able to use who and what you are to make the planet better. So, and also that also has to do with the Federation. The Galactic Federation is made up of both humans and non-humans, and the human aspect, which in our particular case the Sirians, are there to do one thing, which is to use their spiritual energy, their spiritual knowledge, and their wisdom to help the entire galaxy get itself to be better and better. And so the society is based upon joy, because you do all of this because you are doing it out of a deep inner joy, a deep inner responsibility. And as this joy and responsibility grows during your lifetime, you get more and more into the wisdom of who and what you are, and the wisdom of how the divine plan is unfolding, not only on your world, but throughout the solar system that you're in, the star nation that you exist in, but also throughout the galaxy, and also throughout, ultimately, creation, because what life is about is interacting with one another to bring greater and greater light into the realities that you exist in. So it's an entirely different life. There's no such thing as monies. There's no such thing as want. What you are doing is living to increase your joy, living to interact with one another in a way that makes each other better, and using your collective abilities and skills to solve any problems that may be erected in your society that can then be used once again to gather with one another and increase your own wisdom and your own abilities to better understand how life exists and flows throughout creation. So that's how life is. It's one that in many ways is entirely different from the societies that we have here. It's one in which you live for a very long time. In Sirius, you live roughly about 3,000. And so as a result of that, you exist in a society that allows you to become more of who you are, and to use that to help others to become more and more of who they are, and then to use your collective joy to make not only your planet and your star system better, but to make the entire galaxy and all creation better. So it's a system based upon what they like to call divine service, which is what making everything better is really all about. So you are in divine service. You are in your joy. You're doing what you need to do, what you feel you have to do, what in your core brings you joy. And so the life is one in which you are constantly seeing who you are, constantly improving upon yourself, and using all that energy and information and wisdom to make everybody else better. So that's how that society operates.
Sheldon, you said a couple of very interesting things there. One thing was that they have a 3,000-year-old lifetime on Sirius. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to have a 3,000-year lifetime?
Well, what they do is they use every aspect of their life contract, as I was saying, to make the world they live in better. And so they interact not only with themselves, but with the planet that they are existing on, with the solar system that they exist in, the star system that they are a part of, and they also use their spiritual energies to make the entire galaxy better. So they are constantly moving between being within their own world, understanding the energies of their whole world and what their energies are about. In the case of Sirius, there's the Great Blue Lodge, which is all about wisdom and imparting this highest levels of spiritual energy to the entire galaxy. So that's what a lot of the whole culture of Sirius is about taking this divine spiritual energy from the Creator and spreading that energy throughout all of creation, and initially throughout this entire galaxy.
Is there a concept like competition in that society?
None. There are no competitive games. There is nothing at all that is about competition. It's all about who are we as a group, and it's not about ego. It's about learning who you really are and taking that energy in divine service and using it to make the world around them better. And this is a very key point. And this is something that as people get it deep down into who and what they are, they begin to see and feel as you get more and more spiritual, more and more conscious, more and more aware, you begin to see how service and helping one another and learning to better understand who you are is really the basis of what each lifetime is about. It's not about who has more money, who is more powerful or anything. When people really get into the wisdom of it all, get beyond the facade of what we are, they begin to see that there are more important things than money and power.
So, Sheldon, do you think competition is a problematic thing in our society?
It's something that has existed because when you get into limited consciousness, you get into a limited conscious reality, that reality is all about survival. And because it